Hello everyone. In today's presentation we will be discussing and analyzing Figma's acquisition by Adobe by Sebastian Roque Martinez. Context and success story. Founded in 2012 by Dylan Fields and Eva Wallace, this company was pioneer as the first cloud-based collaborative interface design tool, which disrupted traditional design software like Adobe, XD, and Sketch. This company in 2022 provided an annual rate of return of 400 million year over year and raised 330 million as private valuation of 10 billion. The deal structure was valued at 20 billion, which half of it was paid in cash, 10 billion, and another 10 billion in Adobe stock. This had a total value of 2.3 billion in retention packages with 4-year vesting, announced in September and terminated in December of 2023. My opinion on this valuation was pretty good, with 50x annual rate of return and evaluation method, which was comparable company and precedent transaction, which provided context into deal transactions that have increased the company's valuation and provided clear detail as to the pre-valuation before these investments, and also with an industry SaaS service as a software average of 10 to 20 times annual rate of return. The valuation was fair for a strategic premium and justified. However, it's only justified for long-term strategic moat. The reason for why Adobe acquired Figma was mainly strategic over financial. This was with the objective to neutralize competitive threats and to maintain and uphold Adobe's real-time collaboration tools, and also to buy up and obtain and acquire the young tech-savvy user base, and to protect Adobe's long-term relevance. Post-deal corporate structure. The structure was as an acquisition, and Figma was able to remain independent under Adobe. Dylan Fields retained his position as CEO and continued its independent branding and road mapping. Proceeds realized. Founders' stake was a staggering 10 to 12%. This amounts to $2.4 billion, with a benchmark capital of $20 million to $2.5 billion. The retention pool of the team was maintained at a value of $2.3 billion, which maintained a strong ROI for return on investment for investors. Role of founders and key teams. Dylan Fields was able to maintain his seat as CEO, and the teams were able to maintain their VIA incentives for development and innovation of their products. Also, they were able to maintain the stability of their current leadership, and were able to continue Figma's vision after the deal was passed. Fundamental corporate changes post-acquisition were very, very small. As you can see here, there were very limited changes pre-termination. The company continued to produce, the continued product roadmap was continued as is and was not changed, and there was no major restructuring. All of this was as a result of the deal being terminated in 2023 due to regulatory hurdles. So, and why did founders and investors exited or stayed? Early investors exited at strong industry multiples. The founders, on the other hand, only took a partial exit, plus maintained some retention in the form of equity in the company. This was mainly driven by peak valuation and high levels of company liquidity. And this was also due to strategic appeal of Adobe partnerships. The company's post-acquisition performance, annual rate of return continued to grow significantly. The company, through strategic expansion, continued to grow its enterprise. Adobe had to incur a $1 billion breakup fee as the deal was due to the deal being blocked by regulators. Conclusion: was it a good acquisition? From Adobe's perspective, not so much. This is because Adobe's deal was terminated and had to fork over a $1 billion breakup fee. But let's look at it now from Figma's perspective. This was pretty good because this injection of capital increased the company's valuation by $1 billion injection. In short, this merger was mainly for strategic intent, sound, however, it was costly and many missteps for Adobe. And these are my references. Thank you all very much for viewing my presentation.